Gentlemen, we are going to welcome our next act to the stage. Are you ready for your next fantastic act? He's absolutely brilliant. He's an old favourite down here, and he's a good friend of mine, and he's a brethren Italian as well. Ladies and gentlemen, will you please welcome to the stage the one, the only, Nicholas De Santo.
Thank you very much, guys. Some of you have had to get a babysitter for tonight. I'm very grateful. I appreciate it. Some people say the day my child was born was the most beautiful, the most exciting day of my life. And these people have clearly never been released from an Iranian prison. English language is rife with all these empty slogans like honesty is the best policy. People who say honesty is the best policy have never been released from an Iranian prison. By the way, if you ever find yourself in an Iranian prison, here's what they're going to do to you. They are going to keep you in solitary confinement for hours, if not days or weeks, trying to shake you, and then they come with some papers for you to write down your confessions. And these papers are headed papers. On top, you have the coat of arms of the Islamic Republic of Iran. Underneath, it says the Islamic Republic of Iran. Underneath, it says the Revolutionary Court of the Islamic Republic of Iran. And underneath that, you have the official motto of the interrogation body of the Revolutionary Court of the Islamic Republic of Iran. And it says, "An-nijatu fi sidq," which translates as salvation is in the truth. Do not fall for that. If you'd like to know any more tips on how to get out of an Iranian prison, you can read all about it in my latest book entitled Lying Through Your Fucking Teeth. Who has seen me on television before? Not as a comedian. In the news, I mean, I made headlines 5 years ago as a 12-year-old Syrian asylum seeker from Calais. So that makes me how old now? I don't know. This year I'm trending as a 12-year-old Afghan citizen. It never ceases to amaze me. You can come here from overseas, get benefits, get free accommodation, get free healthcare, and then one by one bring in your family members in as well. And as long as you don't kill anybody for 6 years, they give you a British passport. And to get all of this, the only thing you need to do is to lie. Are you sure your life is in danger where you claim you come from? Yes. Okay, you're in. A few years later, down the line, the Foreign Office receives a phone call. Hello, is that the Foreign Office? Can you come get me? Yeah, I'm the former refugee, current British citizen. Funny story. You know, I told you my life was in danger here in my country of origin. Actually, I'm living half the year here, using the benefit money to run a second business. And I need urgent evacuation. Send big planes, there are hundreds of us. It's basically another Dunkirk, except that we are not useful soldiers, we are just dishonest liabilities. I promise I haven't been involved in any beheading activities. Just the usual benefit fraud and wife beating. I swear on the lives of my 5 children, all of whom receive child benefits, some of whom are real. What do you mean the foreign secretary is on holiday in Greece? This is unprofessional. Is this how you treat your former fake refugees and current lying citizens? He claims he can conduct the whole operation from his hotel. He claims that? Is there no integrity left in this Tory government? I used to have this job with Her Majesty's government. Can't tell you much about it, but suffice it to say, I was in the field of military intelligence. That's not the funny part. Not every day, only 6 days a week. I wish I could do 5, but no, I was doing 6. Those other guys were doing 5. I was a verification officer, which means every day I had to watch videos of harrowing atrocities from the Middle East, where else? Terrible, unspeakable, egregious violations of human rights, day in, day out. And then using my language skills and my geography skills, I had to determine which ethnic group was inflicting those harrowing acts on which other ethnic group. Now, you thought your job was difficult. I get the accent wrong, they send drones over the wrong village. The stakes are high. Of course, when you watch beheadings and mass graves and mass rapes, eventually it takes a toll on you. I mean, something inside you changes forever. I got to a point where I would watch Mrs. Brown Boys and I wouldn't find it funny. It changes you. It does. But I was happy to do that. I was happy to do the job because I believe 26,000 pounds a year before tax is a fair salary to defend Western civilization. So I got PTSD, but not the good type. It's not like not the one where you can get girls or anything. You can't even talk about your job. It's all secret, right? That is the problem with the modern nature of our drone warfare. There's no glory, there's no camaraderie, there's no eternal friendships forged in trenches over the smell of gunpowder and blood. There's no heroes welcome home parade when you come home, because you come home by bus. You live in zone 5, you work in zone 1. What can you do? You're just pushing drone buttons. And I'm not even the guy who's pushing drone buttons. I'm the guy standing behind him saying, yeah, it's that guy. Yeah, I know they all look the same. That's why I'm here. That's why I'm here. But ultimately, I lost that job. Nothing wrong with me. But my bosses called me in and said, listen, all these transcripts you've been providing us with, all these translations of these terrorists, we just realized most of these terrorists are native speakers of English. So nobody said this was going to be easy, guys. I was just trying to serve the nation. But why serve the nation when you can serve the entire world, right? That's why I decided to join something called the World Service. Yeah, they broadcast in like 30 languages. Well, the world never asked for this service, so you might say it's unsolicited service, but and it's not for the entire world. They sort of impartially handpick certain countries and certain languages. They're like, they go to, for example, the president of Uzbekistan. Good news, Mr. President. We have now launched the Uzbeki service. We are going to provide the people of Uzbekistan with impartial, unbiased news in the Uzbeki language. I don't think that is necessary. My government is already providing the people of Uzbekistan with unbiased, impartial news. With all due respect, sir, we believe you can't possibly do that. Why not? With all due respect, sir, we believe you can't do that because we believe you are a piece of shit. I beg your pardon. We believe you are a corrupt, thieving, lying, despotic murderer. And that's why it is up to us to provide your nation with unbiased, impartial news without prejudice. But worry not, sir. We shall cover the news fairly, whatever happens between you and your opposition. Hold on a moment. If I'm a despot, as you say, how come I have an opposition? No, you don't. Not anymore. Because as of today, all of your opposition have been hired by the Uzbeki World Service. Now, some of these jokes are for the GB News punters who are here. My application is pending. Have you ever talked to a senior manager of the BBC News? Here's something they like to tell you a lot. They're like, hey, Tories are mad at us, Labour is mad at us, Lib Dem are mad at us, so we must have been doing something right, huh? I've always found that a curious way of self-evaluating your performance. Everybody thinks I'm crap, so I must be great. Please laugh quickly, my time is limited. Can we apply this methodology in our daily lives? Like, I banged my best friend's wife, so now my This is all a truth-based gig, by the way. So my best friend now hates me, my own wife hates me, my kids hate me, even my best friend's wife hates me because she thought I was looking at her long term, whereas I was just looking at her juicy bottom. So, but hey, as long as everybody hates me, that must mean that I'm fantastic, aren't I? By the way, this unorthodox self-evaluation methodology was not invented by the BBC. Where I come from, I was born in Italy, there was a journalist who once said, the more enemies you have, the more honor you have. Molti nemici, molto onore. The more enemies, the more honor. Now, he was a war correspondent, and you might not be familiar with his war reporting activities, but you should know that he went on to become the founder and the leader of fascist Italy. Yes, Benito Mussolini pioneered the BBC management self-evaluation philosophy. Benito Mussolini was the first guy who said, look, Christian Democrats hate me, Liberal Democrats hate me, Social Democrats hate me, Sardinian independents hate me, German-speaking South Tyrolean separatists hate me. That can only mean one thing. Io sono il più grande di tutti i tempi di tutta la storia. What a remarkable man. From an obscure war reporter to the Duce of the Empire of Italy and Ethiopia. Benito Mussolini thought to himself, hey, I love being a war correspondent, so I should become the leader. That way I will start wars and I will correspond about them with my generals. Talk about reinventing yourself using transferable skills learned in journalism. I believe that's an inspiring story for every graduate of media studies. Right. Of course, as you can imagine, doing this kind of edgy material it's not easy for me to find a lot of work. You sometimes even risk your day job, to be quite honest. But I love it. I believe it was Churchill who said, do what you love and you shall never work again. And I never realized he was referring to the cancel culture. Churchill was way ahead of his time, wasn't he? Yeah, but I shall not be intimidated, guys, because in Italy we have this saying. We say, better to live one day as a lion than 100 years as sheep. Actually, that's a quote from a certain Italian war correspondent that I'm going to leave you with. Yeah, I think that's about my time. You have been a great crowd. I have been very accurate. Thank you very much.
Che bravo che sei, Nicola Di Santo!